Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, January 31st, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. Alright, so we had the two dealer choice matches, so let's kick things talking about that. So the first one was okay, yeah, it was a botch. I was muted. Hi, JJ. So the first dealer's choice match was Hangman Adam Page versus Toa Liona. This was a really good match. I really like this. I mean, like Toa Liona just like knocked it out of the park in singles competition. I think one of my favorite spots was when Hangman did the Deadeye for the first time, and then like Toa Liona just like stood right up. It's wrestling time. Yeah, if only I had my power morpher out, but they're like back there still in their packaging. Like Tona Leona was vicious during this match. He headbutted Hangman like to the point where like Tona Leona started like bleeding a little bit from the mouth. Like at the end, it seemed like Tona Leona did the Samoan drop, and then Hangman Adam Page countered with the pin. Yeah, it was a good show. Tao was a beast against Page. Yes, he was. And so like Hangman Adam Page like was victorious here, and Tony Leona was like so mad. Like he took a steel chair and he like hit it on the floor, and then he threw it back in the ring. And this accidentally gave Hangman a chair, and he just sat on the chair and he was just kind of looking at Leo. So this was a really great match. And of course, with this victory, like Hangman's still undefeated so far in the new year. Honestly, tonight's Dynamite was just alright. It felt slow, but good. I can see why you think that. Seriously. Okay, so let's talk about the second dealer's choice. So in the second dealer's choice, which main evented tonight's Dynamite, we had Swerve Strickland versus an opponent of Hangman Adam Page's choosing. So like Swerve Strickland had chosen Tony Leona to go up against Hangman. So with this, Hangman Adam Page chose Rob Van Dam, RVD, to go up against Swerve Strickland in the main event tonight's Dynamite. This was a great match. Like RVD at his age can still go. Like what, he's 53. Most people at 53 are not doing spinning leg drops. That's for sure. Like at their age, like most people like are struggling to get out of bed. Rob Van Dam. I was just reading your comments. Okay. So before the match gets started, like Hangman Adam Page appears on the Titantron, and he talks about how this is now a hardcore match. And like I was surprised that Hangman's match against Tony Leona was a regular match, and it wasn't no special stipulation here. Now, commentary had made note that Prince Nana is out with an injury because like he got put through a table last week. But this was a great match. Like RVD, let me see, nice. That was a hardcore match. It was the best match of the night. I certainly agree. I mean, like RVD was killing it out here. He was going up against Swerve Strickland. He threw a chair at him. He sent him into the barricade a couple times. Like he did the leg drop on the ring apron and on the barricade. So like this was an incredible match. I'm really glad this was a hardcore match. It was right up RVD's alley. I really like the Rolling Thunder that RVD did to Swerve Strickland. I was waiting for Hangman Page to say Swerve's match was going to be extreme, right? It was going to be extreme. Like in the middle of this match, like Brian Cage came out and he shoved RVD off the rope. Hook with the D12 shirt came out and hit Brian Cage with the steel chair. like Samoa Joe was on commentary, and like after Swerve Strickland did the stomp to RVD, like you could hear Joe say that he wanted medical personnel to check on RVD. I think one of my favorite spots was when RVD threw a chair at Swerve Strickland and he went crashing through a table that he himself had set up. He fell from the top rope. Like, so, just to add insult to injury, like Swerve Strickland mocked RVD. He was mocking him by going like that, and then he hit the swerve stomp. So like Swerve Strickland won this. So he too is undefeated. Mr. Wednesday Night. Hi, Io. Yes, Mr. Wednesday Night. So like at the end of the match, like you had Hangman come out and he and Swerve Strickland get into a stare down. They're staring at each other. Basically, what Hangman is challenging Swerve Strickland to another match, a third match, because according to him, Swerve Strickland beat him twice, but each time they faced each other, he had the mogul Ebony. He says that he can't face him one-on-one. As Swerve Strickland says he's got nothing left to prove to him or to anybody. And that once he beats Hangman again, he'll move past him, and the winner of that match will face Joe at Revolution. So, like, I kind of think Swerve Strickland should win. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Hangman Adam Page, but I think Swerve Strickland should win. Like, clean sweep and have him face Samoa Joe at Revolution for that title. At least that's what I think. So, we also find out on tonight's show that Tony Khan has a big announcement next week. What do you guys think the announcement is? So, before I get into what I think it is, let's continue on with the show. Hangman needs to stop pretending to be a babyface. His promos are full-blown heels. That's kind of true. Wonder what's up with the stash, though. So, I'll get into Tony Khan's announcement right now because it ties into his announcement is not Mercedes. I'll give my opinion as to what it is, but after I go after the first match. So the opening contest was Jon Moxley versus Jeff Hardy. This was a great opening contest. Like, we're seeing a different side of Jeff Hardy. Like, he's not taking his losses very well. Another overhyped announcement. That's funny. It's Will Ospreay. Maybe, we'll see. So one thing to note here is that they mentioned the CMLL wrestlers are at ringside, and I think that's interesting. They're going to be on Rampage, and I think one of them is facing Bryan on Collision. So, they attack Moxley at the end of this, and I'll get into it. I'll get into more right now when I talk about the details of this match. But yeah, so they attack Moxley 4-on-1 beatdown. CMLL is, all I got to say is who? Well, I'm not too familiar with CML. Could it be that Tony Khan's announcement is if it's either signing, maybe Mercedes Moné, Okada, maybe it's like Michael 101591 said, is the debut of Will Ospreay. But what if it has something to do with CMLL? Because they were kind of on the show tonight. They attacked Moxley. They have 2 matches coming up next week on Dynamite, on Rampage, and I think on Collision. A promotion rival. Yeah, it's gonna be AEW versus CMLL. Luchadores, that's all you need to know. What if CMLL is a part of the Forbidden Door this year? Is that possible? I mean, I know it's barely gonna be February. If it's CMLL, it's a big disappointment. Well, that's why I'm not even getting my hopes up for this big announcement, because like Tony Khan's announcements lately have been kind of a letdown. So, I mean, everybody and their mother probably thinks it's the signing of Mercedes Moné or Okada or some big signing, but it could potentially have something to do with CMLL. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. Why would it be a disappointment? It would be a disappointment to everybody who's expecting like him to announce Mercedes Moné or Okada or Will Ospreay. So, I'm curious if it is something to do with CML, what it would be. Like I said, maybe they're a part of the Forbidden Door. Or what if it's Tessa Blanchard? I didn't think about that. She is with CMLL, isn't she? Maybe she'll be. I did not think about that. All right, so let's talk about this opening contest: Jon Moxley versus Jeff Hardy. Like, Jeff Hardy immediately went after Jon Moxley because he does this 10 times a year. That is true. This is Tony Khan's first big announcement of the new year. I cannot wait to see what announcements he has for us for the rest of the year. I'm sure it's not the last announcement of the year. Like, Moxley bounced Jeff Hardy on the barricade and then hit his arm with the lariat, causing Jeff to fall off the barricade. Like, Jon Moxley slightly mocked Jeff Hardy. Let me see. Adding CMML to the Forbidden Door would be a good thing. You can only get so much mileage out of New Japan versus AEW, especially when a percentage of your talent is a part of New Japan anyways. That is true. Thanks for bringing that up, JJ. So, like, I think this is the why he gets attacked at the end of the match. So, like, when Moxley gets thrown into the barricade and lands on the CMML wrestlers, he flips them off. Like, that's grounds for getting your ass beat. Give me heel Jeff Hardy again. Let's go 2010. So, like, Jeff Hardy's just, like, throws a chair at Jon Moxley, and oh my god, like, I don't know if you guys have ever gotten, like, or know anybody that's gotten, like, their ears, what's that? I think it's like I forgot what they're called. They're studs, I think they're studs. I don't know if anybody has gotten studs, but the bigger they are, they stretch out your earlobe. And like, Jon Moxley took Excalibur's pen and he put that in Jeff Hardy's earlobe and he was twisting it. That had to hurt. That looked painful. I was like, oh my god. Oh, you're thinking the Hardy Boys is going heel? It definitely seems that way. So I was like, oh my god. Let me see. I wonder if we're gonna get Immortal Jeff Hardy back. God help us. Immortal. Okay, I wasn't watching TNA Impact at that time, so I understood in the chat. Can you fill me in on that? Hardy's definitely going heel. Yeah, they are. Like, Jeff Hardy missed a Swanton Bomb, and like, basically Jon Moxley wins this match. And like I said earlier, like, Jeff Hardy did not take his loss really well. Randy did it to Jeff's ear. I freaked out, right? Oh my god. We're getting Willow Hardy. I think we are too. So, this is a great opening match. I'm definitely thinking that the Hardys are going to go heel after this. Okay. So we get Mr. Mayhem Wardlow versus Komander. So is that what Wardlow's going by now? Mr. Mayhem? I really? Like, he didn't need that nickname. But to each of their own, I guess. Jeff Hardy heel turn of 2020. TNA heel turn of 2020. It's like, Adam is on commentary for this. And apparently this match came about because, like, on Collision, Undisputed Kingdom, namely Roderick Strong, offered to help Komander, but he like rejected it. So this is what it is. Mr. Boy, oh my god, that's what I'm fearing. Okay. It looked like Wardlow potentially hurt his knee during this. Like, there was this one spot where Komander sent Wardlow into the steel steps, and like after that, it looked like he might have tweaked his knee or something. When Wardlow does the power bomb at the end, it looks like his knee kind of gave out a little bit. I mean, he still wins this match, but that's what it looked like. Hopefully, he's not injured. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. And so, like, at the end, like, Mike Bennett, like, just throws Komander in there. This match should have lasted 3 minutes. And Strong tells him he should have taken the deal that he offered him on Saturday and that he would pay the price. So, like, basically, Orange Cassidy and Best Friends come out to try to, do away with Undisputed Kingdom, but they tell him that thanks for coming and see you later. But if I hear Another Me as his theme, I will be scared for Tony. Wardlow is a good talent. Give me Braun Baker versus Wardlow. Oh, I will like that. That's definitely a dream match. So this time, I mean, that match itself was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay. We get a sit-down interview with Big Bill and Ricky Starks and Darby Allin and Sting. And basically, they requested this and they agreed to no physicality. Sting asked Ricky Starks what his deal was. So if you guys remember, like, at Revolution 2021, where Sting made his debut, It was Sting and Darby Allin versus Team Taz, which consisted of Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, which was a street fight. And Darby Allin and Sting won. And like Ricky Starks alluded to this, that it didn't sit right with him that, this was Sting's first match in 5 years and he got the win. And, Big Bill brings up the fact that Sting and Darby Allin are like everybody else, overlooking them, and then they're going to take their frustrations out on them. So this is all supposed to lead up to their match next week for those tag titles. I honestly think, well, okay, so I think it's going to go one of two ways. Either A, Sting and Darby Allin are winning those tag titles, and it's going to be the Bucks versus Sting and Darby Allin at Revolution for those tag titles. Or B, the Bucks are going to cost Sting and Darby Allin the tag titles. It's one or the other. I think they might go with option A. Sting and Darby Allin win the tag titles, and then at Revolution, it's for the tag title match. It's a tag team title match. What do you guys think? Option A, Sting and Darby Allin win the tag titles, or option B, the Bucks cost Sting and Darby Allin the tag titles? Option A is the way to go. Really? I was going to say option C, but I don't have the X Division title on me, so I can't pick option C. It looks like we're doing a watch along of next week's Dynamite across. Okay, make sure you guys tune in for that. Sting retires as tag team champion would be the dream for me. I think everybody would prefer that, but I honestly feel like the way the Bucks are going, I feel like it would be in their character to retire Sting. Yeah, he did do a watch along. Really good watch along. So I thought this was a really good segment to set up their tag match next week. Sting and Darby have to win the titles. I think the Bucks may help Sting and Darby win. That way they can challenge them for the belts. Okay. Sting and Darby Allin are going to be tag team champs, but drop it to the Young Cuff Bucks. Yeah, I think it's going to be option A. I think they're going to win the tag titles, and then they'll probably drop it to the Bucks. Because like I said, speaking of the Bucks, so I'll jump into their segment. So, like, Darby Allin had an interview, and he was asked about his adoration for the Young Bucks. And, he seemed surprised by this. And so, like, Matt Jackson basically alludes to the fact to why is Darby Allin letting a quote-unquote 65-year-old blood-sucking leech take more money from his pocket. So, again, this is why I think that they're winning the tag titles, and then the Bucks are going to retire them. They make a point to say that they love Darby Allin. He's an AEW original. He fit the change the world thing that they were doing. And he was a young hot star just like that. And they keep talking about how when Sting is gone, and it's going to happen really soon, it's going to be great. And that they have a new idea and a gimmick for Darby Allin. So again, this ties into them winning the tag titles. So Matthew wants all three of them to be a new trio. And they kind of allude to them going to a goth phase, that they can bring it back. The Young Bucks need to grow up and choose either wrestle or be businessmen. Okay. So Darby Allin kind of just like blows them off and says that the only thing he has on his mind is the AEW tag team titles, and then Allin proceeds to walk away. So then Matt Jackson says that they need a way to get Darby's attention, a different way. So what kind of different way would they get their attention? Maybe helping them win the tag titles, as you guys talked about, because then they can challenge for the tag titles and take the tag titles off of them. So maybe we get Chris Jericho versus Kyle Fletcher. This wasn't a bad match. It was an okay match. Like, of course, like Don Callis got involved in this. Like, Powerhouse Hobbs distracted the ref so that Don Callis can cheap shot Jericho. Oh, so he could trip Jericho. Powerhouse Hobbs cheap shotted Jericho. But despite all that, Chris Jericho got the win, and then like Konosuke Takeshita comes out and he had a stare down, which was Jericho. Very good match. Jericho and Fletcher worked really well. They did. And like Kyle Fletcher's been knocking it out of the park too as a singles competitor. Like I feel for Mark Davis that he went out with an injury, and hopefully when Mark Davis comes back, we can see a reuniting of Aussie Open, Aussie, oi oi. So, I mean, Chris Jericho hit a Judas effect not to Mark Fletcher as he was coming out through the ropes. He hit a Judas effect off the top rope to Kyle Fletcher. So I really like that part. And he was even a Judas effect to Powerhouse Hobbs. Crowns up. All right. We get a Bang Bang Scissor Gang segment. And like Jay White says, he's a huge fan of scissoring. And they bring out Card Blade, but Colton says they fired him weeks ago. Colton gets Ace. I was gonna say Ace Austin. I'm thinking about Impact because I just typed in because like on my notes I just wrote Austin. So like I'm thinking I don't know why I thought of Ace Austin. He gets Austin Gunn to get Juice Board, and it's just a cardboard cutout of Juice Robinson. Where is Juice Robinson, anyways? Where is he? I don't. Did they see what happened to him? Is he out with an injury? Is he like where is Juice Robinson? And I wonder if he still has a ring from TJ Maxx. Daddy Ass basically says guns up. See, this is why we need Juice Robinson, because Daddy Ass said guns up, and Juice Robinson would say armas arriba. Juice is injured, I think. Really? Is he? Is he out with an injury? Because I don't recall, hearing anything about him being injured. So we also get like a well done Deonna Purrazzo vignette. Absolutely like that. And this is supposed to like set up her match with Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo. So if you guys don't know anything, this is not the first time Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie face each other. Hard to Kill 2021, like Ayo mentioned last week. They fought each other for the Knockouts title. Deonna Purrazzo was victorious. Taya Valkyrie did defeat Deonna Purrazzo for the Tipe a Reina de Reinas title. She took the title off of her, and then she successfully defended against her. So Deonna Purrazzo got her victory back here too. Toni Storm was amazing on commentary. Her facial expressions, I do agree. So like, I mean, come on, she's the Ruchosa Deonna Purrazzo here. She beat her with like this inverted Venus de Milo. Like Deonna Purrazzo, if you don't know by now, she has a move called the Venus de Milo where she puts the arms back. Like it's named after that statue, the Venus de Milo. But like the way she did it was like Taya Valkyrie was like laying flat on her stomach and she lifted the arms up. That looked really painful. So she won by submission. And like Michael alluded to, like Toni Storm was on commentary and she just was like amazing. Like the face she made when Deonna Purrazzo put that submission move on Taya Valkyrie was just hilarious. Like Toni Storm's been killing and knocking it out of the park with her timeless Toni Storm character. I'm very curious to see where that goes. Probably gonna have something to do with Mariah May. Deonna was good. First time I've seen her. Really? That's the first time we've seen her wrestle? Like you should go back and watch some of her matches on Impact. She had a whole feud with Trinity. And not to mention, she had a rivalry with Jordynne Grace. She beat Jordynne Grace 4 out of 5 times. We all know that Excalibur is Sean Mooney. Anyway, timeless Toni Storm. Tony better be serious. We know Deonna ain't playing. Yeah, exactly. Deonna's not playing around. So, okay. So I'll stop there because I have talked about the main event, which was the Dealer's Choice match. And then I did talk about the Darby Allin segment. So, these are the rankings. See, so whoever wins between that, Strickland Hangman will face Samoa Joe, Sting and Darby Allin. What do you guys think of the rankings? So this is interesting. When I go over to the women's, this is what caught my attention. So you have Deonna Purrazzo at number 1, Thunder Rosa at number 2. So with Thunder Rosa being at number 2, I wonder if that means she'll face Julia Hart for that TNT title, or she'll be next in line to face, I'm presuming, the winner of Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm. Because if that's the case, then I don't think Deonna Purrazzo is going to defeat Toni Storm if Thunder Rosa is next in line. Don't get me wrong, I like Thunder Rosa and I like Deonna, but I would rather have Deonna be AEW Women's World Champion. But that's just a personal preference of mine. Says JJ says, I barely watched TNA/Impact, and even I know about the greatness of the Virtuosa. Yes, I'm really happy that you know about her greatness. Why is Sky Blue at number 4? She lost basically every match she was in last year. And why is Mariah May only had one match? Because I think the rankings, from what I remember back in 2019, they reset. So, but overall, tonight's show wasn't too bad. It was all right. I liked the majority of the stuff that happened. Definitely loved the Deonna Purrazzo Taya Valkyrie match. I mean, come on. Those rankings are for world belts. The other mid-card belts are important rankings. Oh, okay. So then it begs the question. Thunder Rosa's probably next in line to face Toni Storm then. And it would make sense because she never lost the AEW Women's World title. So I really like the dealer's choice for Strickland versus RVD. I did like Hangman Adam Page versus Tony Leona. Liked John Moxley versus Jeff Hardy. Was not the biggest fan of Wardlow versus Komander. It was an okay match. Chris Jericho versus Kyle Fletcher was good too. Bang Bang Scissor Gang, it was a little, I'm not sure what the whole point of that segment was. It was a good segment, but like I didn't get anything out of it. Io says, solid show, fire crowd, 8 out of 10, very good dynamic. So because of that, I do have to agree with Michael. On a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, this is an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really solid show. Next week seems like it's going to be a stacked show. Like you have the tag team title match, so I cannot wait for next week. All right, well, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I will see you guys. If you guys like TNA Impact, I will see you guys tomorrow over on Body Slam after TNA Impact. If not, I'll see you guys here Friday after SmackDown. Bye.